Support.
The maestro, please.
I will tell you right now, I've been waiting to do this one. Today we're gonna talk about Old Town Road by Lil Nas X and featuring Billy Ray Cyrus.
Lil Nas X.
Lil Nas X, aka Montero Hill, has no other hits. Hell, he only has one other album. This is his first single, and he's already killing it.
Billy Ray Cyrus.
Billy Ray Cyrus, on the other hand, has been around for quite some time and has quite a number of successful hits, especially on the country charts, whether it's duets with his daughter, Miley Cyrus.
Baby, get ready.
Oh, I'm ready.
Get set. Don't go.
Or, you know, doing some more traditional country hits.
Don't tell my heart, my aching, breaking heart. I just don't think you'd understand. And if you tell my heart.
Background.
This version specifically with Billy Ray Cyrus was released April 5th. The original, also known as Old Town Road, I Got Horses in the Back, was released back in December of last year. It gained a lot of traction on the social media TikTok. Once it broke into the mainstream, it got even more attention due to the issue with its genre classification. Beyond the Hot 100, it got to 19 on the Hot Country Songs before Billboard decided to take it off. It's caused a lot of discussions on whether it can be both a rap and country song, or whether it's just a rap song. Regardless, with all the attention, it eventually gained the interest of Billy Ray Cyrus, who wanted to do a remix, and thus here we are. Speaking of remixes, just yesterday, in fact, Diplo released a remix of the Billy Ray Cyrus remix.
I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road.
And even further, on April 9th, they teased that Young Thug was going to be doing a remix with Lil Nas X. Regardless of remixes and genre classifications, the song originally charted in the middle of March at number 83. It has gotten all the way to number 1 and is still number 1 as of the beginning of May. Moving on from the song's history, the track extensively samples I say extensively, and I mean it, because the majority of the instrumental, minus the bass and the drums, is actually just a sped up version of 34 Ghosts 4.
Can't nobody tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing.
Because of the extensive sampling, both Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross of Nine Inch Nails are both credited in songwriting and production. Speaking of credits, on production we have Young Keo, and for songwriting, specifically on the Billy Ray Cyrus remix, we have Jocelyn Donald, aka Jazzy. Young Keo is a relatively unknown producer, and in fact, he didn't even realize this song was a hit until much later. Young Keo found out after the fact, as he just made the beat himself and then uploaded it to a website where people can purchase beats, and Lil Nas X purchased it anonymously. Needless to say, he is thrilled that it's doing so well. Jocelyn Donald, on the other hand, has already had the industry's attention as she's been labeled an up-and-coming songwriter and artist. Whether it was her work with just pop artists,
You got that, you got that, you got that milk money. I got that, I got that, I got that milk money. You got that, you got that, you got that milk money. I got that.
or when she dipped into the movie soundtrack realm.
Welcome to the party. Hey, hey, welcome to the party. Hey, hey, welcome to the party. Hey, hey, welcome to the party.
Old Town Road is released solely by Columbia.
Form.
Old Town Road is a country and rap song. The Billy Ray Cyrus version is a little over 2.5 minutes, is in G-sharp minor-ish, and is about 69 beats per minute. The song opens with the banjos playing from the Nine Inch Nails sample, as well as Lil Nas X doing some vocalizations.
Yeah,
Following that, we have Billy Ray Cyrus with the first refrain.
I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna.
We then get Lil Nas X with the first verse,
I got the horses in the back, horse stock is attached.
who continues into the first chorus,
Ain't nobody tell me nothing.
before going into the next verse,
My life is a movie, bull riding in boobies.
which he then follows with another chorus.
You can't tell me nothing.
And then we get the refrain again by just Lil Nas X like he does in the original song.
Yeah, I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna.
We then finally get Billy Ray Cyrus's verse,
Baby's got a habit, diamond rings and Fendi sports bras. Riding.
which then leads into the outro of the song, which is the refrain done both by Billy Ray Cyrus and Lil Nas X.
Yeah, I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna.
The song ends again with the banjos as well as a whistle added while it fades out.
Synth.
The synth is an extremely easy figure, just going G sharp B, F sharp E over and over and over again. Now, quick note, that synth never actually occurs by itself in Old Town Road. What you're hearing is me accidentally having recreated what Young Keo did with the 9 Inch Nails sample. So it's going to be a bit more clear, because Young Keo filtered it a little bit before he made the beat, but I figured this was the easiest way to hear everything.
Banjo.
The banjos that you hear are actually all the same banjo, they're all just layered over each other in different parts. The top one serving as a melody, the middle one serving as an accompanying figure, and the bottom serving as a bass line. The first version of the banjos that we hear is chopped up just a very little bit, hence that one F sharp in the top line. The middle line fades in with the offbeat F sharps, and the bottom one just this nice B sharp rising to a C sharp figure. The meat of the banjo parts is played during the chorus, having that lovely spaced out melody up top with the repeated F sharps in the middle just constantly repeating. For the bass line, notice that that B sharp C sharp figure is still repeated, but now there's that G sharp pedal tone played throughout. The second subphrase has the two bottom lines repeating their same figures, and the top one fades in on a G sharp at the very end.
Piano.
When the piano first comes in, it's just doing these bass figures. That bottom note is doing the same thing that the bass did before, that G sharp B, F sharp E. However, the upper one is doing a B sharp to C sharp to an A sharp to a B natural. The piano then introduces this lovely offbeat melody, going G sharp C natural, C sharp A sharp, the G sharp below the staff, back up to that C sharp.
Bass.
This is actually the most simplistic bass we've looked at, mostly just because it does this one figure, the G sharp B, F sharp C sharp F sharp, over and over again, and there are 0 variations on it.
Horses in the bag, horse stock is attached. Head is matted black, got the bushes black to match.
Wish I could.
Refrain.
The refrain, in this case being given to us by Billy Ray Cyrus, starts off on that D sharp and slowly makes its way down to the F sharp before jumping back up to C sharp, up to D sharp, and all the way down to G sharp.
Yeah, I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more.
The second subphrase is nearly identical, except they start on that low G sharp before going back up, and the ending goes straight from B to G sharp as opposed to passing through the A sharp.
I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more.
Now, while this is Billy Ray Cyrus doing it, when Lil Nas X does it, it is actually the exact same.
Yeah, I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more.
Which is why it works when they sing it together at the end.
Yeah, I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more.
Lil Nas X's verse.
All of Lil Nas X's verses kind of function in the same way. They have the 16th note, 8th note figures, there's only that leap in the beginning, and everything else is just kind of stepwise as he slowly moves down.
I got the horses in the bag, horse stock is attached. Head is matted black, got the bushes black to match.
There is the occasional rhythmic alteration, but for the most part, it does stay the same.
Riding on a horse, ha, you can whip your Porsche. I've been in the valley, you ain't been up off that porch now.
The only thing he adds is in his second verse, he does add these 8th note leaps to make it just a bit more interesting.
Riding on a tractor, lean all in my bladder. Cheated on my baby, you can go and ask him.
Even when adding something new though, he then does repeat it for the remainder of his verse.
My life is a movie, bull riding in boobies, cowboy hat from Gucci, Wrangler on my booty.
Chorus.
The chorus is just this one line repeated over and over and over again, and it's similar to his verses in that it's mostly stepwise motion and tends to be in the lower part of his register. There are a bit more leaps, and the descending lines on the end of the word nothing do add a nice melodic touch to it.
Ain't nobody tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing.
Billy Ray Cyrus's verse.
Billy Ray Cyrus opens his verse always going back between that F sharp, G sharp, but at the end of each one, he goes up to B and drops down to G sharp.
Hat down, cross town, living like a rock star. Spend a lot of money on my brand new guitar.
He then raises that figure going more between C sharp and D sharp, although he still ends on that B and G sharp.
Baby's got a habit, diamond rings and Fendi sports bras. Riding down Rodeo in my Maserati sports car.
He then expands upon the melody, going as high as that F sharp while still retaining that lowest pitch as the G sharp, as well as altering the rhythms to make it interesting.
Got no stress, I've been through all that. I'm like a Marlboro man, so I keep going back.
He then has a few more melodic leaps before choosing to wrangle everything in and go for that A sharp, which then works its way up and back down to G sharp.
Wish I could roll on back to that old town road. I wanna ride till I can't no more.
I get it, this song is a point of contention for genres and classification, and a lot of things have come out of the industry because of the infighting that's going on. Regardless, I firmly believe that this is both a country and a rap song, and I will continue to say that until my voice is hoarse and I can't.
Yeah, I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more.
A style and genre of largely string-accompanied American popular music having roots in the folk music of the Southeast and cowboy music of the West, usually vocalized, generally simple in form and harmony, and typified by romantic or melancholy ballads accompanied by acoustic or electric guitar, banjo, violin, and harmonica. I will reiterate, I am going to continue to call this both a country and rap song until my voice is hoarse and I can't.
Yeah, I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no